Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's Daily Recap is for Friday, December the 22nd, 2023. Friday, December the 22nd. Well, let's see what's going on in Genoa, Genoa City. That is Young and the Restless. Let's see what's going on in Port Chuck land. Port Charles. What's happening in Port Charles? Um, we have Esme decides to, let me get my pictures up so I can see. Uh, go to the next picture. Why are they not up? Let me get my pictures ready, y'all. What happened here? Okay, because I don't even know if that's the first one I'm gonna talk about. Here we go. Now, background. Sorry about that, y'all. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This is what's first. Gregory wants to talk to Brooklyn. Everybody pretty much is converging on the hospital for storytelling time. You know, the kids, that's the event of the year. And first I thought, now how realistic is that? Since when did every child in a city want to go to the hospital on Christmas Eve to hear a story? But then when I thought about it, right? Pretty much every child there has a relative that works in the hospital. Monica's great grandchildren were there. Well, not great grandchildren. Jason, yeah. Grandchildren and great grandchildren were there. Scout was there. Donna was there. That's not Monica's, but you know, um, Avery was there. Wiley was there. They all, little Violet was there. They all have parents who work at that hospital. And of course, Portia brings her family, who, by the way, has no kids, right? But Laura was enlisted to help co-read the story. So we had little Lace there and everybody, all the little kids there, and then the kids in the hospital, because really the reading is for the kids in the hospital. Um, so I said, okay, you know what? I see that. If I'm chief of staff, co-chief of staff, if I'm a big hospital nursing supervisor, even the nurses, I would want my kids to come and enjoy the festivities because it was a party too. They had Santa, mock Santa there and everything. So, okay. I said, you know what, Sheila, stop being so picky. Picking on every little thing. So I said, that makes sense because they had a really great picture. I'm going to get back to Gregory in Brooklyn. Just everybody there enjoying the day. Little Leo is sitting there. You know, he didn't have too much bad to say about it. He's like, okay, you know what? I know how to be nice for the kids because he's older. he is older. So that was a really great scene. And Finn was nervous about reading the book. He was trying to memorize it as if he had to memorize it. And Elizabeth's like, Finn, you don't have to memorize this. You're going to be reading it, you know. So they had a nice little heart to heart. So let's get back to Gregory. He asked to speak to Brooklyn, and he asked Brooke, and I understand why he asked her that because Chase and Brooklyn have not set a date. Violet, see, grown folk conversation, grown folk conversation. I'm the flower girl. I need to know the date. I need to plan. She's asked them again about the date right there at the hospital. So Gregory said one of his dying wishes, or a wish before he dies, bucket list almost wishes, is to see his son marry the woman of his dreams. And he was saying, I don't want to rush you, but I'm running out of time. And if at all possible, can you have the wedding sooner than later? And I thought, you know what? I could see them doing that for Gregory. And what she's gonna do, she's gonna say, Chase, I want to get married by Valentine's Day. It'll be a Valentine's, want to do a Valentine's deal. Because remember, Nina and Sonny didn't wait till Valentine's. Watch it be Brooklyn and Chase. She's not going to tell Chase it's your father's dying wish, right? Because Chase is still having a hard time accepting the fact that Gregory's going to die. But so is Finn, and Finn's a doctor. And actually, so is Gregory. It's hard for anyone in their family to accept that. It just is. Come on, y'all. We all know it. We've all had family members that have passed away, and it's hard to accept it, you know. Anyway, so she's gonna do it. She didn't say no. I think she said yeah, but sometimes I kind of zone out after a few minutes. I knew what he was asking her, and I'm thinking, okay, they're gonna do that. Next story, next scene. Fast forward. So anyway, uh, so next we have. Oh, this was so good. Sonny, Michael, and the fam, because we talked about that, they came over to Sonny's for New Year's Eve, and Sonny made sure that all the kids got to pick up one present, but then he took them by the church so that they could light a candle. Now, Donna didn't make it over Christmas Eve, but then after Ava took Avery, and I don't even think Ava took Avery to the hospital. She may have. I don't know if Ava was in that picture, and I don't feel like putting it back up to really try to see. But Sonny took Wiley, Michael, and Willow to the church, and he gave the father, an envelope full of money, for his offering, for the church. And the father said, all your contributions are greatly appreciated, my son. Like, yeah, 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 yeah. Here comes that new organ we need. We want to redecorate, stage. Sonny takes care of him. And so he's like, you have a beautiful family. So Sonny took Wiley over to the candle lighting deal, and Willow and Nina, held back a bit. Wiley and Michael over there. And he was saying why we light candles, remembering the people that can't be here with, I got a little sun coming through the window, everybody. Ignore that. Because I don't feel like stop putting shade down. So anyway, he lit a candle for Morgan. He lit a candle for who else? It was three. Morgan. It was Mike for sure. Mike was the last one he lit. And there was one other person, and I don't know why I can't think of who the other person was. There were three candles Sonny lit. Um, and then Nina and Willow's looking at Nina's face, and Nina's face was like, and she goes, "You're thinking of Nell, aren't you?" And yet, what her life could have been had I known she was my daughter. It could have been so different. It was just this whole romanticized thing. And Willow is looking at her because remember, Willow was part of Nell's target too, right? And Willow said, your sister, she goes, it's still hard for me to hear her described as that, but yeah. And she goes, she's looking at Nina. Nell was complicated, and she didn't want to say too ill because of the moment that they were in, but she was letting Nina know, look, okay, if that's your daughter, and you should mourn her, you have a right to mourn her, but let's be realistic about who she was, right? Come on now. Most, you know what, I ain't gonna go down there. I was gonna say how not most parents feel about their serial killer kids. Look, I don't know because I don't have one, but you do hear a lot of Jimmy was a good boy. Really? Tell that to the 50 people he killed, Okay, so because I know that I'm just not even gonna touch that. But Nina still romanticizes Nell, even though Nina was one of them. who testified against Nell, who fired Nell, who in the end did not like Nell, right? So it's nice for Nina to think that way, and she does. She puts rose-colored glasses on. I had to let that shade down because that was bugging me. So anyway, Sonny says, okay, Wiley was like, come on, mom, we gotta go to the hospital. Because he didn't want to miss the reading in Santa. So Nina tells Sonny, you know what, you guys go ahead. I'll come. Now, to me, a candle was not lit. And Jason, my brain kept thinking, who did they light another candle? They lit a candle for Jason. That was the three: Morgan, Jason, Mike. I thought, Willow, you need to be hanging behind and lighting a candle for Jonah, right? So actually, that would have been kind of cute if Willow would have said, you know what, guys, Nina and I will be right behind you. It's something we want to do. Michael would have automatically known that Willow was going to light that candle for Jonah. And everybody would have known who Lena was going to light a candle for. But mother and daughter could have lit their candles pretty much at the same time for the different individuals. That would have been cute to me. But anyway, they, I guess, didn't think to write that in or whatever, because Willow definitely lost somebody. So Cyrus, after being shooed and booted away from everything, he wanted to be at the hospital, to volunteer to help, for the whole Christmas deal. And Portia's like, get out of here. I mean, Portia was, not Portia, Jordan. Jordan was like, I don't believe you. I will never forgive you. Even though he goes, well, I've forgiven you. She looked at him. She goes, don't for a minute think I don't know that you were the one behind TJ's kidnapping. Right? So anyway, she turns and she walks away. And I kind of think maybe Sonny also shooed Cyrus off when he got there. But anyway, Cyrus ends up at the chapel. No, Sonny does not see Cyrus at the hospital because Cyrus is at the chapel and Nina's still at the chapel. So I think it was Jordan is the one that shoots Cyrus away. So Nina is lighting her candle, and the father comes out and she goes, Father, is it too late to give a confession? And he looks at her, it's never too late, my child. So she goes and she sits in the booth. Now Cyrus is like, ooh, she gonna confess something. He's like, ooh, my opportunity. Yeah, look at his face. His face is cat's meowing it. Because he already heard at Royce Plaza Nina and Michael talking. So it's like you ain't gonna hear nothing new, but maybe he wanted to hear, look, she gonna confess she killed somebody? Huh? Because he's trying to get evidence to take Sonny down. So she gets in there and the little window slides back. Little door, slider deal, divider. And she goes, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. And Cyrus, the camera goes and shows it's him. So he's going to say something about what's your sin, whatever he's going to say on Monday. But Nina's going to confess. Ooh, let's see. But it's still, so it did not really happen Christmas Eve, unless Monday is still Christmas. No, Monday, watch, it'll be Christmas, or Tuesday when the show comes back, because I don't know if the show's going to be on Monday on actually Christmas Day. Even though, look, they filmed the show 2 months in advance, so it could be. But anyway, we'll see what she spills and what Cyrus hears. And see, this is yet another reason Nina shouldn't know Sonny's business secrets. She should not know. What if she did, everybody? What if she had the inside tip on something? And she could be confessing to Father, look, Father, I love my husband, but his business I'm finding pause with. He's involved in dangerous situations. Like right now, look, he's involved in blah, 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 blah. Nina. So, but no, she should not know family top secrets. Let's see, what else who is this? Adam. Okay, Josh takes Adam to her house. And you know what? This Jocelyn isn't too bad. I could see her being Jocelyn for a while. The initial shock was like, okay, the other Jocelyn's skinnier, but look, they can't match body types when they do replacements all the time, right? They were trying to get a blonde-ish, even though the other Jocelyn is blonde-er, like Carly. But looking at this one here, the other Jocelyn really favors Carly a lot facially. This one, head shape, even if they made her hair a little blonder, but the head shape and the features and the roundness of the face, she could fit she could be Carly's daughter. They did a good temporary casting job. I do have to admit, everybody. So Adam, remember he says, oh, another reason is money and now trying to get tickets at this late date. He couldn't afford it and blah, blah, blah. So Jocelyn says Dex was going out to get firewood because they decided to hang back and not go to the hospital because Carly told Jocelyn to make sure she's not enabling Adam. You know, he didn't go be with his family, but you're making it real easy for him not to have gone. And she goes, but Mom, I couldn't leave him alone in the dorms on Christmas. She goes, no, of course you couldn't, and I'm not saying you should, but Adam is making his own decisions, and he needs to live with his own decisions, not you change things. But anyway, Jocelyn told Adam, her father has a travel fund for her, money that's put aside for her to be able to travel at any time. Plane tickets, hotels, whole 9 yards. That's the money is earmarked specifically for that. She says, and I'm not using it. So I want to get you a round trip ticket. There's a flight that leaves, and she told him 2 hours. You could be home before Christmas. You could be home before midnight and blah, blah. And he blew up at her. I said I didn't want to go home. Stay out of it. Oh, he just flipped the switch on her and she looked like, whoa, whoa. Hold up, you look ingrate. You the one walking up and down the hallways. Oh, you the one. I got some ramen. You're the one, right? So he says, tell your mother, thank you, but I can't stay for dinner. And he gets up and Dex walks in as Adam is storming out. And Dex said, with the wood, and Dex looks at Jocelyn and he goes, what'd I miss? And she's like, oof, you know, no, whatever. She's like, Adam's a hot mess. And Adam is a hot mess, Jocelyn. He's going to get hot messier too. So now we have, Esme brings little Ace. And before I get to Esme, let me talk a little bit about Stella and Marshall. They can't even look at each other. Why? They did not kiss. See, they're acting guilty as if they had done something in the past, that they've buried that guilt or moved on past that guilt and have brought it back up. Or they're acting guilty as if her sister, his late wife, is still alive, and she's not. She's been dead for decades. So let that go if that's it. Nobody is being unfaithful or betraying anybody in that instance, right? So Curtis picked up on it. He asked Marshall, Dad, is there something weird about Stella? Because she dropped the whole tray, charcuterie board with cheese and crackers. And oh, I'm sorry, I'll get it. And so Portia and Trina like, nonsense, Aunt Stella, we're going to help you. It's okay. Oh, I don't know how, Aunt Stella, it's okay. And Marshall's like, come on now, get out of here with that. So they go back to Laura's house before she gets to the hospital. Spencer is there, and he was supposed to go to Esme. It was arranged that he was going to spend Christmas Eve with his little brother at Esme's new place. And Trina had told her mother, no, she wasn't going to see Spencer tonight because he wants to spend some time with his little brother. So it's fine. But they get a knock on the door, and it's Esme. She shows up, and they're like, Spencer immediately says, wait a minute. I was supposed to come watch Ace at your house. What are you doing here? Are you trying to change the plans and I can't spend Christmas? Oh, he was already getting ready to ramp up to 10, right? And Esme says, no, I'm bringing Ace over here so you can spend more time with him. He can spend time with the family versus Spencer going, yeah. And I thought, why would they do that? You know, he can spend, and oh, Laura was like, oh, hey, that's such a great idea. Oh, she comes and she's, holding, and as she's handing the baby to Spencer, this little actor baby loves Nicholas Chavez because he's, oh, brother Spence. He immediately reaches for him and is happy as a lamb, to be with him. You could tell Nicholas is really good with those twins because they love him. So anyway, Laura comes over and she takes the baby and she's showing him the tree. And Spencer says, okay, Esme, out with it. What's going on? You coming out the blue like this over here, bringing Ace. Yeah, that's nice, but why? And she says, because I just want a little me time. And he looked at her. She just a little time for myself. That's all. Now, in reality, that is what she would want. Because remember, when she lived with all of them, they all had all hands on deck. 5 adults looking after one baby. Now it's just her. So you're right. You the only one when he waking up in the middle of the night. You the only one if he's teething. You can use a little me time. You're going to need a whole lot of me time. So anyway, she goes, look, I got to go. I will come by and pick Ace up later tonight. So I thought, okay, what's going on? All of a sudden, they go to the scene of Windermere. And somebody's breaking the glass, the pane in the glass of one of the shutter doors that leads out to that little terrace area right off of the living room. It's Esme. Esme broke in. She's got her little hoodie on, her little flashlight, almost looking like Charlotte Cassadine creeping around, right? Esme is going to the house because she wants answers. She really did have amnesia, 100%. So she is trying to find things that are familiar. She makes her way back to the room that she was held captive in. The door is locked. She couldn't get in. But outside the door, the rest of her memories come flooding back. They're flooding back to her. She sees herself setting up the camera to record and push record for the revenge porn. She remembers taunting Trina about all the evidence points to you. So you must be, and the things that Spencer said when he found out, Spencer telling her off and just her pushing Elizabeth on the pier. She remembers being inside that room with the baby. She also remembered dropping herself off of that terrace the second time. And she did it. And she goes, I survived the fall once, I'll survive it again. And she flung back into the water, right? She remembered that too. And then they showed her making her way to the area, where is where Nick Valentine pushed Ava off, and actually where she jumped from that parapet. She made her way there, and that's when she remembered herself jumping. And her face as she's remembering what she had done was, as she kind of slides and she shrinks down onto the ground on the parapet, and she has her head down like, oh my God, I was the monster that they said that I was, right? Well, look, everybody, that's only gonna last for 1 minute. See, because she couldn't remember. So it's not like she had to deny it. She couldn't remember it. Now that she remembers it, she can't deny it because she remembers she did all that stuff. Only thing Esme's gonna do is embrace it. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna bring her back. She's gonna be villain. You know, she's gonna go back to her way. She's gonna go back to try to break up Spencer and Trina. That is definitely it. Because especially the way Trina said, I didn't do it for you. Ace was getting in me and Spencer's way. Oh, yikes. Yeah. Don't get too cocky. Right? So that was it. That was it. Let's go to comment corner. Comment corner. Let's see. Lisa says, it all slowed down since the old writers came back. You're 100% right, Lisa. You cracked me up about Stella and Marshall. Oh, you mean when I said, when they're dancing real close? And she's like, oh, Marshall, you glad to see me? No, that was funny. Stella's feeling like she's cheating on her sister. Come on, she's passed away a very long time ago. Portia is fake by accepting Spencer. I hope she backs off Spencer. Spencer finally spoke up, and I hope she does let him off. Let off him. She does let off him. I don't know, maybe let him off the hook. Stop being a B word towards him. I know what that B word is, girl. When Spencer said he really didn't know what love was until he met Trina, now he does know what love is. They did okay with the Joss villain. I know. I'm accepting it. I'm becoming to accept that. The temporary actors. And Lisa also says, I won't even hold Charlotte accountable for that, meaning they won't even hold Charlotte accountable for anything she does. Breaking the law, and Laura, Nina, and Valentine have covered for her. All they do is tell her it was an accident that Anna shot her. And Charlotte lied and said, Anna looked right at me and shot me anyway. Both Nina and Laura stopped Valentine from confronting her when he found out Charlotte uh, didn't start the fire. Now he acts like she's innocent of everything. Deborah says, I just love you. I really like the way you tell the story. You're fun to watch. You're great. M-O no so. M-O no so. I don't know what the M-O is. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. And Cindy says, did Marshall and Stella have a moment when they were younger behind Irene's back? I'm kind of thinking so, right? Richard says, another great review, daily recap, lady. Happy holidays to you and your family. Thank you for keeping us updated all year. Thank you so much, Richard. Richard, happy holidays to you. And actually, everybody, happy holidays to everybody, all of you daily recap fans, to you and your families. And let's see, NK Rose says, where is Stella's Englishman? I know she always have these stories about these men she fell in love with but had to walk away from. Really? Do you really, Stella? NK Rose says, about time Ava called Nina out. PEC says, how did Ned know Michael knew about Nina? I think Nina told Ned that Mike was blackmailing her. So she can't get information, but I can't remember. Daily recap folks, Fill in, how did Ned know that Michael knew? I kind of think Nina said it. Susan said, didn't, oh, there you go, Susan. Didn't Nina tell him? I thought she told him. Now both he and Michael are blackmailing her. Not sorry for Nina, as she should have ratted Drew. She should not have ratted Drew and Carly out of spite. She was about to confess something to the priest. I wonder if those confessional booths are soundproof. What if Sonny comes back to the church to bring Nina back and overhears something about the SEC? Nope, Cyrus is gonna overhear everything because he right there next to Nina. Free yourself, unburden yourself, my child. I am says Michael ended up with shares from both AJ and Jason. Michael loved Jason, but also Jake should have some shares too. Michael loved Jason so much, but spends zero time with his kids. I know, isn't that interesting? I find it interesting. They miss him, but they don't honor his memory. Here's a subject change. Was Jason the only one that could shoot straight and hit a target? No. Anna could shoot straight and hit a target, especially if it's a kid. Look, shouldn't even said that. Because that's tearing Anna apart inside. Okay. P. Merle says, of course he was. When Jason took you out, it wasn't no coming back. I'm surprised they mentioned Jason at all. It's the writer's revenge. I am also says, I see them finding out the surrogate is still pregnant and the baby will be delivered at GH. I don't think that surrogate miscarried. I just don't. Part of me says, nah, because she didn't even go to GH when she waited the whole next day, right? Or Molly will get pregnant and Christina will end up keeping the baby. And then P. Merle says, I agree. This plot story is about to get twisted. Yes, it is. And then PE says, or Christina and Blaze will take the baby and run off to Puerto Rico. No, they ain't running off. Blaze has a career. She ain't running nowhere. I am says, Esme had a Scrooge night with the ghost of her past. She is living the past. Maybe next week we'll get the future ghost. And then Cyrus will be the one to expose Nina's secret. I still think Jerry Jackson's behind Pikemen or the EOQ deal Drew is now working on. I guess Rocco will be a college graduate when we see him. I'm guessing they haven't found the right team to fill the role. Well, look, do you have to find the right team to fill that role, or any team can fill that role? It's not that they show Rocco that much, just like they got the cutest, handsomest kid to play Danny, right? Next time they show Danny, it could be somebody else. They don't really show those kids enough that it has to be the same actor. It doesn't. Even little Aiden. That is the same Aiden. Aiden just grew up on like steroids over this past summer. That boy, it's got to be 6 feet already. Even Jake got tall, but Aiden, shut up. You just never know hormonally how kids are going to grow until they grow. And man, but realistically, they could have recast Aiden as somebody smaller. I mean, they don't show Aiden enough, for us to be married to that one actor, to that role. Then P. Merle says, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I was thinking about. Another holiday with no Rocco and no Danny. What gives? Yeah, what gives? I mean, my whole thing is, let's even talk about Drew. Drew was away in prison and missed Scout's swimming competition and missed Halloween, right? Even though he got out on Halloween, but I missed all the festivities. You mean to tell me that he decided to take a business trip, did not have to be away from his little girl. Now, he want her in this private school so bad, but yet, On Christmas, you're away on business. See, what sense did that make? Now that you are out of prison, you told Scout you would always be with her on the major things. Well, this was major, Drew, and you chose to go away. Michael at least said, look, I can't leave Willow, this close out of remission and the kids, but Drew did not have to take that trip right then when he did. So I don't know. I mean, priorities, Drew. Let's get some priorities straight. That's how I feel about that. And then Susan says, I believe he was here on Halloween trick-or-treating with Charlotte and her friends. That was Danny. Yes, oh, handsome Danny. He needs to be on the New York stage. He's such a cute little actor. Bet you he could sing too. He looks like he could sing. DB says, well, the time is coming when all of us will say to the TV, I knew Christina would fall in love with and will not give her and TJ's baby to anyone. Yes, that's going to happen. That is going to happen. And their whole family knows it. I'm glad they finally got the actors right because this is predictable, but it will be good. I am so happy Spinelli moved in with Maxie. And then Susan says, I wish Spinelli realized that Cody has changed for the better. He risked his life to save Sasha, and he needs to come clean about the DNA results and tell Mac and Felicia that he's Mac's son. He thinks he's not good enough to be Mac's son. He thinks he's not good enough. Oh, I said that. Goodness gracious. Repeat. He's not the selfish, greedy person he was when he first came to town. I like him, and he has changed for the better. Just like Spencer is also changing to be a better person. Isn't it funny Miss Wu let how much Cody still owes her go? Remember when he lost, threw the games for 2 nights in a row? He owed Wu a whole lot of money. Uh, DB says to Susan, Spinelli shouldn't be judging anyone too hard. His money maker is spy for the mob. Look, and also the device he created, the app, was taking people's personal information against the law, Spinelli, which is what Cody was able to blackmail him with. Susan says, I wish Valentine would discipline Charlotte. She's a spoiled brat at times and out of control. He hadn't held her accountable for her actions. Also, I saw on Facebook that Kevin might be her next victim. Wow. I hope so. Susan says, not long ago, there was a homeless man that didn't want to go inside. No, that wasn't Jason. Um, but accepted some food from Carly. Yeah, no, that was just a scene Carly showing Christmas spirit, but not even just Christmas spirit. Like she says, she donates to the shelter all year long, but that was not Jason. Maybe it was Jason in a mask, faking to be a homeless man to keep an eye on Carly. There was a picture with a homeless man and Jason on Facebook. That's wishful thinking on people's parts. Jason has no reason, if he in fact is still alive, he has no reason to be in hiding, pretending, wearing a mask. No, no reason at all. Linda says, has anyone noticed that Esme is showing deep emotions about her memories coming back? It's like the personality that there is is more dominant than her old personality. She was crying, remembering all the wrong she has done. I think Esme has changed for the better because of her son Ace. Esme is learning responsibility for caring for another human being other than herself. If the writers decide to have Esme be the wicked person she was, what was the purpose of the amnesia? It would be a waste of creativity on the writer's part. I think the good Esme needs to stay and some young man walk into her life and sweep her off her feet. I think they don't need to make her turn bad, but They just can't help it because she does bad oh so well. Susan says, and take her mind off of Spencer, that she becomes attracted to more than she is that she is falling for Spencer. Oh, you think she's more attracted to him than she thinks. It would freak out. I think she would freak out when she remembers what she has done. Well, she did kind of freak out a bit. Today's episode showed more of her remembering everything. When she first broke into the house, I thought it was Charlotte breaking into Anna's old house to hunt down some more information. Then they showed Esme's face as she was wearing the coat that resembles what Charlotte wore on Halloween. And when she entered Anna's apartment. Charlotte is reminding me of old Esme causing trouble for people and is up to no good. Me too, right? And then P. Murrow says, the good Esme is just as conniving. That is true. She doesn't love Spencer. She just doesn't want him with Trina. She best depart for parts unknown. That's not going to happen. No longer having amnesia means jail time. That is true. Lisa says to Susan, Charlotte is far from done with Anna. She will find out Valentine was with Anna at Anna's apartment. Actually, that was the Metro Court where Anna met. That was her hotel room, the Metro Court. And will try to go after her again, possibly to hurt her this time. Anna's guard is down because she thinks all the tricks have gone away. In order to keep her away from going after Anna, he will have to take her and leave town and for her deprogramming from Victor's influence. Yep. He talked to Laura and Kevin. He will talk to Laura and Kevin and find a place to take her. I kind of expect that because the actor John Patrick Stewart, Valentine, has a movie and he is scheduled to record coming up. Yeah, so they're going to write a departure for him. And that whole goodbye scene with Anna could be part of that departure. Lisa says, Christina wants to help Molly and TJ have a baby. Now she will be their baby's mother completely, eggs and all. Christina and TJ will be the mother and father of that baby and hand it to Molly to raise. Well, that will be very hard. I hope she could do it. I don't think she'll be able to do it. All right, everybody, that's it for Comic Corner. Comic Corner. I am well past the 10-minute mark, but some great, great comments. Thank you all. Everybody, listen. Have a very, very happy and safe holiday.